2025 is just hours away, and as Bitcoin rallies, will the rally continue into 2025, or is there a pattern on the daily candle that can see Bitcoin go down to sub $90,000? We're going to talk about that. Also, our favorite predictions and bold predictions, I might add, for 2025. What are we expecting? We have a special in-studio guest joining us. We'll reveal who that is in just a couple minutes here. We're also going to take a look at some charts. We're going to talk about AI. We're going to talk about RWA. What are some narratives that are really going to make you a lot of money in 2025? We'll talk about that and much, much more in today's episode of Sin City Crypto. Let's go.
It's your boy Big Rob back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto, home of the entertainment-focused cryptocurrency channel where we take old, boring, stale information and repackage that whole thing up in a fun and sexy 2025 kind of way. Okay, I'm going on a limb right now. I'm just going to destroy the show. $1 million Bitcoin 2025 is coming.
You don't believe it.
Why not?
You do not believe that.
I believe it.
Okay.
I see it.
Anyway.
Someone spoke to me last night.
Okay.
Anyways,
we do have a very special guest in studio today. We have Miss Teen Crypto joining us. Is it your first time in studio?
Yes.
Welcome in. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you guys? Thank you for having me.
Thanks for reaching out. Thanks for joining us. We saw you were, we didn't know if you would have time. I know you were busy. I don't know, you were playing blackjack or dealing blackjack, that post you put on X.
Oh my gosh. So actually, I saw an empty table and I was like, I'm taking over this thing right now. But I actually did play blackjack. I did one round and I won $100 and I took my profits and I ran away. I ran away after that.
You didn't invest it in a meme coin?
No, I didn't. I was just like, you know what? I was saving it to stack more sats and I'm hoping for a nice little dip to buy more.
Okay. Well, you might get that dip. I mentioned there's a pretty big pattern on the daily on Bitcoin that could potentially show it going to the downside. We'll talk about that here in a second. But make sure to like the video and let's jump in. I want to start here with Bitcoin. Which, by the way, guys, to some people, it's already a new year. So happy new year if the new year's already rolled in. We're on Pacific time, so we still have around 13 more hours until we're ringing the new year. But let's start here. It's pretty interesting. Now, we get a lot of people in our space, right? I'm not going to name any names that throw out crazy predictions and $1 million Bitcoin and Bitcoin's. Well, this is Franklin Templeton, right? $1.5 trillion asset manager saying, quote, "We expect to see strategic Bitcoin reserves added by several nations in 2025. Several nations." So I think we're out. Well, you know what? I'll ask you, MTC. Do you think USA will get the Bitcoin strategic reserve in 2025?
They better, because then other countries are going to beat us to it. I mean, El Salvador has beat all of us to it, technically. Yeah. They've been buying 1 Bitcoin a day for a very long time. They accumulated probably, 11 Bitcoin twice?
Yeah.
They did. And so I think we're going to see a lot of countries that maybe that we don't even politically align with say, hey, we need Bitcoin. Even Russia, right? Everyone's like, oh, Russia this, Russia that. But you know, they're going to buy Bitcoin.
But do you think that's because the USA is looking to do that?
I think it's definitely inspirational because the USA leads the world in a lot of ways, but at the same time, we've been lacking. And so other countries, like especially Asian countries, like people went to Singapore and there's so much going on there regarding crypto. And in the United States, we're worrying about Gary Gensler calling us hucksters, fraudsters, scam artists. Like, come on, we need to move on. And all these old people need to take a nap.
Wow. Yeah. Some of them need more than a nap.
I'm researching. When is Gary Gensler's last day?
January 20th, he's resigning at noon.
Yeah.
And then the FDIC chair is going to resign the day before on the 19th.
Marty Greenberg?
So, I forgot his name. I can't remember off the top of my head.
That guy, a lot of people say that guy was worse than Gary Gensler, right? The architect of Choke Point 1.0 came back for round two. Yeah, Choke Point 2.0. So I'll kind of ask you the same thing, Rob. This one says several nations. Is there a number in mind you think is going to happen, or what are your thoughts here? Do you think Franklin Templeton's onto something?
I mean, if the U.S. executes game plan where they're going to hodl their current Bitcoin position over 200,000 Bitcoin and then also be a net buyer of Bitcoin, we know over the course of 4 years
5
or
years.
5 years?
Yeah.
5 years, accumulate 1 million Bitcoin. That's an average 200,000 Bitcoin per year. And just the U.S. alone doing that with the supply and demand aspect of the buys and what it would do for for buy sell pressure. I mean, it's hard to believe you wouldn't see a $500,000 Bitcoin. And I know I came in on the show kind of joking about $1 million Bitcoin, but in all seriousness, it is a realistic target. Now, is it an extreme upside? Most bullish scenario? Absolutely. But if you find yourself in a situation where Trump comes in office, not only is the U.S. a buyer of Bitcoin, but if he fosters a situation where the U.S. is the crypto hub of the world. And, yesterday we were talking about it. And right now, the two largest economies globally are the U.S. and China. Both are kind of negative on crypto. China realistically doesn't even allow Bitcoin purchase and sales. Now, there are still some activity going on. There's activity going on in the Bitcoin network in China, but it's really not. It's not endorsed by the government, and if anything, it is quote unquote illegal. The U.S., we know that it is just extremely difficult. You go to any of the conferences, you talk to anyone that is outside the U.S., and you start talking about the U.S. As far as regulation, it's always in a negative light. So, if the U.S. ends up being a builder of of crypto, they build a reserve. If they end up being the hub of crypto here in the U.S. It's going to be massive. I mean, there's so much money in our economy. And the reason I say number one economy, U.S., number two is China, is just that right now, the market cap of crypto has essentially grown to what it is off of offshore money right now. I know there's U.S. money tied in there, but realistically, most of the growth has come from globally, and it's outside the two major powerhouses. And now the number one economy is getting behind crypto. And we know that other countries follow suit to what we're doing. And so would be surprised to see European nations all on board as well. If the U.S. is buying and holding Bitcoin, I think that the likes of, I think England will probably be one that I would expect to jump on. I know England shares a lot of monetary policy that the U.S. does.
You said one word that really stuck with me, and that was Foster. Every time I hear Foster, you know what I think about? The Foster beer?
Yeah.
That commercial?
Uh-huh.
Foster's, Australian for beer. Anyway,
where are you right now?
I'm just saying, that's just what stuck out to me. Okay, now my next question is, let's say the U.S. does not do the strategic reserve bill.
Okay.
Does your thesis change?
The states are going to do it. Even if it's not on the federal level, states are already passing bills. Pennsylvania is going to allocate a certain percentage of their state funds. And
Alabama
then you
wrote
have
that.
Texas. And then Texas is a little different where there's going to be donations and taxes that you could pay in crypto. I think a lot of states are going to do that. And states are going to lead the way, and then it's going to have to melt up to the federal level. I've been saying this for years. It's inevitable. And if the federal government falls behind, it's going to be a huge mistake. A huge mistake, because look at Michael Saylor. Like, Michael Saylor's MicroStrategy could end up being more rich in some ways than our own treasury.
What if he writes a check to pay off all our debt? Anyways, what about you, Rob? If the U.S. does not do that in 2025, does that change your thesis for the other states?
No, I think what we're seeing right now, where there's price accumulation, we're post halving. Do we get that big euphoric, gigantic green candle that I'm expecting next year? Probably not. But think of it this way. Without the U.S. being pro crypto, we got to $100,000 Bitcoin, new all-time high shortly after we broke all-time high after, what was it? Oh,
it was right before the halving.
Right before the halving, right? Mm-hmm. So that was the first time that happened. And so $100,000 Bitcoin, and this is off the back of no progressive U.S. regulation, right? I mean, we have the ETFs. I mean, that's positive, but I don't know. I think the halving would play out like normal if there was no U.S. strategic reserve. I think that we would probably see $140,000 to $190,000 Bitcoin. But it's coming, guys. It is coming. I don't see any scenario that doesn't come. I mean, there's so much buzz around it. Donald Trump has repeatedly talked about it. We went down to Nashville, saw him speak about his plan for bringing crypto to the U.S. I don't know. Maybe I drank the Kool-Aid. I don't know. But It's coming, man. It's coming. If the only thing that could derail it, I guess, would be is if they sold Bitcoin prior to Trump getting in office.
Don't put anything past.
I
this
mean, I would be
administration.
surprised.
Don't put anything past
They
these guys.
tried. They sent some Bitcoin to Coinbase, and everyone was freaking out. But I think they just do that to scare people. It's so
Yeah.
stupid. And then we're gonna have Doge be the literal face of the United States. So
I've been saying that.
it's kind of silly to say that, like, oh, the United States isn't gonna embrace it when we have Elon Musk preaching Doge everywhere he goes, and then Vivek Ramaswamy that's like, having Bitcoin integrated to his strategy company. His wealth management company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting too is you got SEC chair, big bull. You got Secretary of Commerce, Howard Lutnick, massive bull. Treasury Secretary, Bessent, big Bitcoin bull. Vice President holds between $250,000 to $500,000 of Bitcoin. These are all top level executives and chair people who are going to be in positions of massive power that are on our side. And so, but I do want to share this chart here. In the short term, at least, looks like Bitcoin might be breaking to the downside. What do I mean? If you take a look here on this chart, this is Bitcoin on the daily from Coinbase. What we're kind of seeing play out here is a head and shoulders pattern, which does typically break to the downside. As you can see here, we pierced the neckline to the downside, and we're attempting to reclaim. And this level here is that 94K level. And it looks like it got up there on a wick to around 96, but came right back down. If this thing plays out, if Bitcoin gets rejected, your measured move to the downside is going to be around $79,570. I'm not saying it's definitely going there, but I'm saying when you talk about TA, it's all about probabilities. And this is typically a very bearish pattern. So can this thing get completely invalidated? Bitcoin's price pushes up, volume, and you're seeing low volume on today as well. Can you see Bitcoin's volume spike up? Prices start to rally, everything rallies. Bitcoin, this thing gets invalidated. We take out this high of around 98.6, and it gets invalidated. Yes, of course, but probabilities and likelihood say we're probably going to break to a downside. And so I don't know. I don't know if you guys want to share any thoughts on that before I move on. But
On Bitcoin, I wouldn't be surprised if in the next couple weeks we start January off in negative. I don't know. I still think that we probably will get one pullback, and then Trump will get in office. And then I think we rally. I don't think we actually rally the day he gets in office when he gets inaugurated. I think that he has a lot of pressing issues that he's
we're going to get an inauguration rally.
I think
so.
I don't know.
I think that rally happened on the eve of the election.
Yeah, if anything, a lot. Even with progressive executive orders, it's still not going to take it's going to take a while for that to come into effect, right? For it to kind of play through the system and to the point where it affects price. I know that people like to buy rumor news, things like that. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it might be a good day to be a trader, right? I mean, you're going to get some volatility when he becomes inaugurated, but I don't know. I think just from a sentiment, what I feel is I think that we'll get a little pullback within the next 2 weeks. And then from there, I think we kind of take off. I think now is just a great buying opportunity. There's so many projects that are down. I'm just going through the list right now. One that's down a lot that I kind of got my eye on, and it's one of our favorites, is Phantom. So Phantom at under 70 cents. 2 weeks ago, it was at $1.40. So it is down 50% on the 2 weeks. I mean, you look on the 1 week here, it was at $1. You know, if you're a fan of DeFi, I always go back to have a position on DeFi just because of the simple fact that's what crypto does best. That's why it was created. That's the title of the Bitcoin white paper, is essentially peer-to-peer transfer. It's DeFi, right? It's to send value without an intermediary, and I think that DeFi Phantom is a great play for that. Also, just taking a look at some of the ones that are down right now. You also have AVE here. This is another one of our favorites. This one's down 17% on the week. And then going further down the list, Hedera might be a good time for Hedera. We just did a Hedera video yesterday. And I know there's a lot of Hedera haters out there in the comments.
Predators.
Heders.
Sorry.
But I mean, look at this on the 1 year. And, you know, this is a project that we've talked about at least once a week for years. We've had a founder of Hedera on, Mance Harmon. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, we've been trying to tell you to
Robin even has the socks.
I do. Oh, you saw that post, huh?
I have the same socks.
Yeah.
We got them for free.
Why you got to put me on
Oh,
blast?
my bad.
man? You know
No,
what mean?
I got mine for free. I don't know if you paid for yours. You probably did pay for yours. You like spending.
Well, I got it as a reward for being such an awesome community.
Oh.
So you know, it was at 5 cents just back in October, and so, or under 5 cents, 4 cents, and so we've seen this thing perform extremely well, and you know, obviously it's cooling off right now, but and then you already know I'm eyeballing at Avalanche.
Oh, they're gonna say Kronos.
Well, yeah, Kronos too, but I you know, I talked about it last week. I am looking for that $33 Avalanche, and you know, just realistically, I'm just about my personal self ego, and I want to get a nice solid 3x. I think that Avalanche will get to $1 here within the next 3 months, and so for me, at $1. 33 cents. That's a 3x, and so I think it'll pull it back down there.
Randy, I want to get Randy's opinion here. I know he talked about it a lot, but let's real quick on Bitcoin.
Yeah, I think going back to 75K, I think would be a great pullback because you kind of saw like a little bit of a wall that we hit. If you go back to that chart, you saw a little bit of a wall. And so I think that would be a healthy pullback because even if we go below 70K, I think that would liquidate a lot of people and relieve selling pressure. And I'm all about relieving selling pressure. And if you look at the RSI, send it to oversold.
Yeah.
That's what I always say because we could shake everybody out. We create a new floor, a new foundation, more stability, and move back up. And right now we're kind of in a range between 91 and 98K. We kind of keep bouncing around that. So if we create even a nice support at 91K and we just break through 98 and never see below 80K again, I'd be very happy.
Yeah, you know, the thing with Bitcoin and crypto is it's very leveraged. And so anytime you have very leveraged markets, you get washouts all the time. And you don't just look at the charts the past 10 years. Bitcoin, crypto, altcoins, they're all leveraged to the T. And what happens is funding rates need to reset. The leverages need to be cleared out, and that's what happens. You mentioned 3 altcoins. He mentioned Phantom, Hedera, and Avalanche. If you had to buy one today and hold it until the end of 2025, one of those 3, which one would you hold?
One of those 3. I would probably go for HBAR because of the ETF, but also Avalanche has a lot of good gaming stuff. And I'm very bullish on Web3 gaming because I think that's going to spearhead crypto adoption. And the fact that it's just simple, it's easy, it's something people understand. Most of the world understands gaming. And if you integrate crypto, now you have all these digital tokens and digital assets that you actually own and can't be taken from you. And you could trade on a digital market 24/7, 365. And it just elevates your whole experience. So it's something relatable. So I think Avalanche would probably be a little bit over HBAR.
Yeah,
Unless Avalanche gets an ETF. And then that'll send it to a whole different dimension.
Get an ETF.
Yeah, I think so. And then the off the grid game, it's something I downloaded, something I play, something that I've seen some of my favorite streamers because you know I still a beast on Call of Duty. How y'all doing?
Fun fact: Robin used to rank in the bottom 10 percentile of gaming.
Oh, come on, bro.
No?
I carried.
No,
I always
if you
carried.
used to stream your losses.
So, no, there's a lot of big streamers are behind it. The thing is Off the Grid has a lot of money, a lot of marketing budget, and I think a lot of it obviously comes off of their proxy or their integration with I forget what it was.
What was it,
So-
PlayStation or something?
Yes. Well, the thing is they got a lot of marketing budget from crypto. And
You're talking about Avalanche or off the grid?
Off the
Off the
grid.
grid.
Okay.
And so Off the Grid has a ton of money coming in from crypto. And so they have an advantage compared to other video game studios.
Mhm.
And so other video game studios, they have that traditional format where, hey, we got venture capital, we got our team here, and that's kind of it, right? You just kind of budget there. Now, they have a ton of money coming in because people are interested in the gun token or interested in Avalanche, and we see how much money a new crypto project can raise. And now if you take that money and use it as fuel to build a game, build the graphics. At that point, you got to edge up on the competitors. And what I've seen off the grid is that they're having tournaments every week, and they're just giving out like $3,000 per match for people that win essentially the battle royale. And then they also got prizes for second and third place. And this is just every week. And then what ends up happening is that you're setting up bounties for these big streamers. And so these big streamers are out here like, hey, watch me stream. I'm trying to win this $5,000 or this $20,000 prize pool. And so just
NFT.
Yeah, and then on top of that, the what we haven't seen yet is that the marketplace is in a test net. So all the NFTs and all the drops that you get, all the skins and guns and all this that are in the game are already NFTs, are already minted. That you already own them. It's just on a test net, so it hasn't been plugged into Avalanche ecosystem. It hasn't went live, and once that goes on, it's gonna be a surge of transactions. A lot of money is gonna be made, in my estimate, for Gunzilla, which is the studio that produces Off the Grid, and in doing so, I think other franchises. I'd be very curious to see what Grand Theft Auto does. But other studios are going to be like, hey man, look how much money they made. Look how much the streamers are streaming the game simply because of prize money, right? And they got the prize money because of crypto. And so
It's all going to be pretty big.
it's going to be monkey see, monkey do. Other studios are going to do the same thing. And
Now,
then,
my question is, we always talk about Avalanche, Gala. What about Sui? Right? Stan said Sui Gaming. They got their handheld thing coming out, right? Looks like a PS Vita. Is Sui one you have on your radar for gaming?
Honestly, I haven't really thought about it, to be honest, and I think that it would be pretty interesting. The thing is, like, I worry about blockchain scaling, and we haven't really seen the billions of people online using blockchain at one time. And we kind of saw an example last bull market with Ethereum, that people were, surging with Bored Ape Yacht Club and all of these drops. And there was a point where Ethereum wasn't able to, confirm some transactions for a little bit. Ethereum had a few spats where we were like, okay, can Ethereum really scale for mainstream adoption? So I think we really need to test the waters, literally test it, and see if millions of transactions could go on at one time. If millions of people around the world are pressing buttons, can we really make it?
Well, you know what? There's one project that has done that. Not theoretically, and that's Cardano.
yeah,
They did
saw
that.
it firsthand.
They did that. Yeah, they did that with Hydra Doom.
Yeah, we were, and I had a hands-on experience playing with that, and to your point, you were saying that Ethereum has dabbled in it. The base layers are they're not equipped for that amount of transactions, and what we saw off of Cardano, what they did very successfully is that they offloaded the transactions to Hydra, which is a scaling solution, something similar to what you would get off of like Polygon, or as an example. It's still native to the Cardano blockchain, so maybe Polygon's not the best example, but either way, it's batching transactions on top of the Cardano network, but all of the frames that in game were actual transactions on the Cardano blockchain, which could be verified, which you would actually log in. Instead of logging in and playing your video game with your ID, you log in with your Cardano wallet, which was interesting. And then at that point, you get airdrops, and you can also authenticate your wins. You can authenticate, first place, second place, and so none of this can be fabricated. In which, one thing that you'll find in the video game industry is that there's a lot of cheating going on.
Yeah.
And so a lot of this can instantly be, hammered out because, hey, look, it's on the blockchain. Like it's all transparent. And so I think that there's a lot of pluses to this. I know a lot of people think blockchain gaming, what we saw out of Cardano with Doom was that each frame was essentially a transaction. I don't think you even need that. I think what Off the Grid is doing is that, hey, look, we got a game. It works just like all the other games. It just, your graphic card, all that, it's all being processed by your computer or whatever it is. That just keep that format the same. But now assets that are worth value that you're buying, instead of it being through some website that all of a sudden they're just giving you a digital skin with no accountability as far as like, hey, I own it, I can move it, new game comes out, whatever. All that goes out the window. And then we see it with like CS:GO, which is one of the biggest games out there, Counter-Strike, by the way. There's billions and billions of dollars for Counter-Strike, for their games, for their skins, and that's billions of dollars. Like, it's crazy. They got whole casinos built off of Counter-Strike and their assets. And so
CoffeeZilla just did a hit piece.
yeah, that one was pretty good too. Did you watch it?
I didn't know.
You should watch it. Yeah. And they have giant tournaments, and the giant tournaments that they have, the biggest tournaments in the world for gaming are for Counter-Strike. They fill up arenas. And where do you think they get the funding for that? It's off of the back of these skins that they sell, and then other companies take a cut from it, right? It's mainly casinos, and then they fund the teams, and then they fund the arenas. And so there's a lot of money in that ecosystem, and none of that's on chain, right? And so it'd just be done a lot better that way. It's going to be a giant cash cow, and I just don't think people are realizing.
I think Randy brings up a really good point, though. I think you both bring up good points. I think it's going to come like when people play the game or when people buy and sell, I don't think they need to know that anything happens on the blockchain.
No, yeah, of course.
At the end of the day, the transactions need to happen on the blockchain. And so if you can't handle that and something goes wrong, you're going to turn off a lot of people, a lot of gamers. And so I think what Avalanche is doing with off the grid is extremely important. Once that marketplace goes live, it's going to be very important to make sure that there's really no hiccups. If God forbid, I don't know, the network goes down, something, you're going to put a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. Maybe other gaming developers and mobile studios go elsewhere.
I'm telling you, I'm so bullish on Avalanche. Like next year,
Yeah, we know.
I'm telling you, man. Like I will talk about it every single
There's
show.
an Avalanche video today. Last week and yesterday, we did like 2025 price predictions. All those videos were like over 10K views, majority of them, almost all. So we did another one today, but I did 3 of them. I did Avalanche, Ethereum, and Solana. And so watch that video. It's going to come out in about an hour and a half. I want to go to you. Will you pull up the markets? Take a look at the crypto markets now. And then we're going to talk about, when he's done, we're going to talk about how AI is following the trend of DeFi from 2020.
Yeah.
And what could that mean?
I mean, guess what the top gainer is for the 24 hours? Well, it's virtual protocol.
Mm-hmm.
Another project. Like, I don't know what else to tell you guys. Like, I'm not trying to like showboat here or something, but I'm just trying to remind you that like these are the things that we just repeatedly talk about, right? 6 months ago, all we did was talk about every show. Like, guys, buy Cardano. It's at 33 cents. It's at 30 cents. It's at 34 cents. At 36 cents. Like, buy it. It's about to explode. It's a very strong community-driven project. Like, get exposure to this now. It is so undervalued. And then, obviously, recently rallied. Same thing, XRP, virtual protocol. We've been telling you about virtual protocol for months. Under $1, under 50 cents. We've been telling you. And it's at $4. How much more can it run? It is creeping up the market cap list. It's at number 33 on the market cap list. We were telling you about this way outside the top 100. We even made a virtual AI agent way back when it was like at 100 and like
when it was still fun.virtual.app. Now
Dude.
It's all integrated.
And I'm just like I don't know what and that's why I'm telling you. I'm like, listen. This Avalanche thing, the gaming off the grid, like I know video games, I know crypto. I promise you, like this thing is going to explode. And it's right around the corner. The test net is about to go live, and I don't know how else to explain it to you. But back to the markets though. I will stop. I will not mention Avalanche again. But anyways, virtual protocol $4, biggest gainer on today. This thing has been absolutely.
You know what? Real quick before we move on, I'm going to give one of my bold predictions for 2025. At some point in 2025, virtual protocol will be in the top 10.
You think so?
At one point, one point in 2025, that's one of my bold predictions, and it's bold for a reason. Okay, virtual protocol will land.
And you made so much money on virtual. It's crazy. Even the whole ecosystem.
Yeah.
Hats off to you. If you aren't plugged into our Discord, go link in the description. Go check out our Discord. We're giving you a lot of these plays as well. So if you don't like making money, don't go into the Discord. Thank you. All right. So you also got Pepe up. It's just funny because I pooped on Pepe yesterday.
Yeah.
I still hold. Hey, it rallied today. It's fine. It's okay.
Randy, what are your thoughts on Pepe? Do you think Pepe? you know, I mean, it's an OG meme coin, kind of OG.
Almost.
What do you think?
I think Pepe's pretty new still. I wouldn't call it an
Okay,
OG
fair enough, fair
yet,
enough.
but I think Pepe was really fun, and it kind of reminds me of the early days of Doge. And like, I think because I remember when Pepe first started to run, and people were like, "This is garbage. It's not going anywhere." And then it makes new highs, new highs, new highs. So I think fate loves irony, and I think Pepe is one of like the OG memes in general. Now it's in crypto, and I think it has a place. I mean, I hope it has longevity just for the meme. I love when memes kind of like, because again, Doge was a complete joke. Now it's the face of the United States.
But,
so let's create a new agency in the government for Pepe.
But Randy, so let's look at this thing realistically, okay? It's at an $8.6 billion market cap. How high do you think this thing can go at the top of the bull market?
I mean, I don't do the price predictions.
SHIB went
but
to
I do
44
know-
billion.
it could pass 10 for sure. I mean, especially if the meme coin season really pumps again and altcoin season comes back, because people sometimes don't really care about the utility. They're there for the meme. And even we saw, you know, back in like 2021 where we had GameStop and AMC pumping, Dogecoin was right along with it, right? So then you even saw GameStop when Roaring Kitty came back, they were halting the stock. AMC, the same thing, except when all three were running, AMC, GameStop, and Doge, they couldn't stop Doge. And I think we're really like exemplifying what a free market really looks like. And so I think Pepe could kind of go on that train as well. Like, how far can it go with the fact that people are just going to support it to support it? And so I think Pepe could go the distance if it really wanted to. Although, again, the only thing I see is as the problem is that Doge was easier because it's a proof of work blockchain. It's its own thing. It's a coin, not a token. Versus Pepe, it's a token and it's on top of Ethereum, right? So you're going to have like those scaling issues with Ethereum that if you're swapping Pepe, it's going to cost you a fat bag in gas fees. And I think that is the one thing that I think could hold it back, even though people are degenerate.
I mean, it's got the listings. I don't know. For me, like I look at Pepe, I'm like, I don't think it could, like 2 to 3x is my thing. It
That's
like
possible.
a very bull case scenario. But at that point, like we're over here getting 20, 30 X's, right? People are getting 20, 30, 100 X's. Are you going to be happy with a 3 to 5x? I don't know.
Yeah.
Now, of course, there's more risk.
But then, and the reason I was kind of negative on Pepe yesterday was more or less.
Frogs.
No, come on. It's more or less about the current position it is on market cap and the risk versus return on assets that I compare next to it, right? And so for me, when I look at Pepe and I'm like, okay, I only have so much money, right? Just like you, the viewer, you have say $10,000 in stable coins on the side. Maybe you have $50,000, maybe you have $500, whatever it is. You have a certain position that you can layer into your buys, right? And so for me, Pepe is right at the top 20 on the market cap list. And so for me, I just look, I'm like, hey, what you got XLM there, right around the same market cap size. You got a Hedera there. You got Near Protocol. ICP's at number 30 on the market cap list. So it's down 50% on market cap compared to Pepe. And so for me, I just look at it like, hey, I got money. Like, where am I going to put it? And so risk versus reward. Perhaps I'm wrong on Pepe. I've been wrong about many meme coins in the past. So, I mean, it is what it is. But I've also grown my portfolio. I've had financial success in going with solid projects that, especially at certain points in the market, we're going to rally. Now, if we were at $220,000 Bitcoin and the alts have, essentially 3, 4, 5, 6x, my favorites, maybe not the best time to get into that. And when people make a lot of money, they like to throw money into just random stupid projects, especially meme coins, NFTs. And so people get way more speculative, way more risky in these meme coins and these speculative projects. They tend to rally a lot harder after there's a lot of greed comes into the market. Like if you were to look at the fear and greed index, you were to say, hey, the greed is off the chart. People are in massive profit. People that have never had money before are all of a sudden sitting in 6-figure portfolios, 7-figure portfolios, and they just have stupid money and they act irrational and they go buy dumb shit. And we've seen it before with NFTs and we've seen it before with meme coins. And that's when those just take off.
I feel like I'm being targeted right now.
Well, a lot of people roll like, they'll degen their meme coins and then roll it back into Bitcoin, which is also another strategy where people could see like, oh, that's conservative.
That's a good strategy that is great in theory. I just think that so many people say they're gonna do that, and then they just get obliterated.
Well,
bro.
no, it's greed. It's a human emotion. It's
Yeah.
greed. You know,
I've been there. I've been there.
You start thinking, oh my God, a 10x. You know that meme? It's like, it's a 10x. Let me take profit. And there's a guy behind him trying to pull him back, but it could still 10x. Right?
Yeah, and it
Same
might not
thing.
be over yet.
Like, and I'm sorry, but if you can't admit, like, I've been there. I've done that. I'm like, my goal is 10x. I get the 10x. I'm like, fuck, this thing is running pretty hard. It could probably another 10x, and then it goes down and you lose. So I've been there. Now you just got to be able to remove your emotion out of it. And no matter whatever target you set, when your emotions are not high and when it's not running, you need to stick to that.
It's all about your investment plan, right? And if you want to take on more risk, you want to have a position on meme coins, and you want to break that down, then cool, man. I mean, those work for people. There are plenty of people driving Lambos that bought those off of the back of meme coins, and so you know what? It's not wrong. Just from my perspective, I don't want to touch Pepe just because I see the value in other assets that are in comparable market cap, and I know I'll get a good return, and maybe I'll lose out on a couple X's from the likes of Pepe or Bread or some other meme coin, but I don't know. That's just kind of the way I look at it.
All right, I'm gonna talk about this DeFi AI thing, but I want you
real quick. Let me just give a little love today. We had 2 super chats, so we had I know the super chat got shot down there by what was that? Poe Man put up a super chat.
talking about
showering or something, and then also we had ALGO crypto as well. We do have a super chat goal, 10 super chats, and we'll talk about one embarrassing moment for 2024 for everyone here in the studio. We are 8 away, and so we'd love to get to that goal. We'd love to. I love to hear some. I'm so full of embarrassing stories.
Yeah. I know.
I am just, I'm a magnet for those things. But a little love to the chat, though. If you are new here, just drop something in the chat. We'll try to give you a little recognition. We got Stan, Black Hat Team, USA Power, Dan K, Tommy Stan, Vishin, Kylie, David F, DJ Mini, Joe Carpenter, Tony Kelly, Fans Dip, Vishin, Triangle, Mike C, Edward Nugent, Curtis Gibson, and Friends Dip. To all of you, hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto.
And to all of you in the studio here, Randy and Rob, I want you guys, as I go through what I'm going to go through, I want you to think of one bold prediction you have for 2025. Because after this, I'm going to go to you, okay?
Okay.
Let's start here. This was a very, very interesting post from Masari, okay? Take a look at this. The current AI trend mirrors that of DeFi from 2020 to 2021. As you can see here from this chart, up until around September, October, right? DeFi was running hotter. Now AI has caught up, and I fully believe, and I think AI could potentially, the way he's so bullish on Avalanche and Kronos, I am mega ultra bullish on AI. And I've explained my reasons why, and just in a nutshell, AI is such a fast-moving industry. You're going to constantly get new news, new updates, new products, new services. It's going to continue to keep the AI hype narrative in the media, in the mainstream, on YouTube, on Fox, and wherever. And so with that, you're going to get people that want to speculate, and people are going to speculate. So AI is going to be a big one for me. And I'm telling you guys, and I said this, I posted this on our X, this is going to be the channel you go to get all the AI alpha before the rest of the public does. And I'll leave it at that, okay? I want to show you one. We talked about this one 2 weeks ago, last Friday, and I'm hoping a lot of you got into this, right? Or did your own research, and if you decided it was worth more, then yes. Degen Capital, this thing was at 2.5 million. It's at 11.7 million. YNE, this is one we shared yesterday on the stream. This is kind of the intersection of decentralized science and AI. This thing was at a $25 million market cap when we talked about it yesterday. It's at 35 million. Now, I want to mention, again, nothing is guaranteed. There's a lot of risk involved when you go outside the top 100, the top 150. But this is also where you're going to make a lot of massive gains. So as long as you understand that and you have a proper risk to reward ratio or risk management, you're going to make some money. this is what I want to share. Now, what I want to tell you guys right now, if you're on your phone, okay, minimize this video, do the picture in picture, and go follow this handle right now. Small Cap Science. This guy is the real deal. Let me tell you something. This guy is the absolute real deal. Take it from me. I don't say that about a lot of people. This guy is a real deal. He just put out this entire post about a new AI project that is leveraging BitTensor subnets, okay? And I'll just share one thing that they're doing, okay? The agent has the ability to act extremely quickly as in-game events take place. We're talking about sporting events, soccer games, basketball games, football games. And let me find where he talked about exactly right here. Being able to simulate based on officials, injuries, weather, player matchups, and thousands of other data points gives you a massive market edge. This is what We Built Score built, again, leveraging the BitTensor network and creating their own AI agents. So they take gambling analytics and machine learning to a different dimension and tied it all together with DraftKings. Well, it's a kind of a play on DraftKings with an AI in there. So again, they leverage the Tau network to do machine learning on live matchups where players are on the field, matchups, momentum flows, ball control tendencies, and then use that data to find inefficiencies in gambling lines, okay? So there's one of them. And this thing is sitting at, I think, a 12 or $13 million market cap. There's another one for you. AIXBT, they actually posted about this as well.
We made so much money on AIXBT, bro.
Yeah.
And we were telling you about that a long ass time ago.
This thing is at, I think it's at 600 million. It just, the Quantum Cats, the Ordinals people, Casey and Udi, right?
Yeah.
Those guys, they just invested $1 million into this, right? And they gifted this agent here, this Quantum Cats NFT. Anyways, this is what AIXBT posted, right? D King marks the second AI agent on base after AI on, using Tau network to process live sports data at 1/10 the compute cost of standard solutions.
Until Caesars finds out about that one.
Seriously, man, I'm telling you.
I'm not even joking. Like once these major casinos see that, hey, you know what? How much do you think they spend in bookies, setting lines, things of that nature, the error there, the loss that you get for setting a line on the sports book incorrectly? I mean, we know I know a lot of professional bettors here in Vegas. You set the wrong line on a game, the money comes in, they take advantage of it. They put in $1 million positions, and then
I'll tell you from a personal anecdote.
You got family that does sports betting, right?
My cousin makes millions of dollars a year. That's what he does. He sports bets, and this is what they do. They have multiple accounts, just like what Sam Bankman-Fried was doing with the kimchi premium.
And what are they doing? They're taking advantage of inefficiencies. Exactly. And what do you think smart companies that want to close up that inefficiencies are going to do? They're going to leverage AI.
Guys, I am telling you, I think I'm converting my friend over here to be a big AI bull.
I think AI is topped.
Robin, 2 weeks ago.
And the reason I say that.
No. 2 weeks ago. Hold on.
AI is topped as far as compute power on the traditional AI, right? In blockchain, it just started though. But
you said 2 weeks ago you don't know what purpose AI agents serve. I'm giving you 20 right now. Anyways, we'll go back to that later.
I never said it don't have purpose. I just said that there's a lack of people actually launching AI agents, and I think that
anyways,
go ahead.
Okay. Credit to Forrest, because this is something Forrest has talked about at a very, very low market cap. I picked this thing up at 300K market cap. Forrest told me at around 600. I bought some there, waited for a dip. This thing is sitting currently at around a $30 million market cap, right? So this is Sequoia Virtuals. And these are all people, whether it's me, it's Rob, it's people like Randy that come join our show that share alpha with you and information, or people that we speak to. I'm bringing a gentleman on the show tomorrow. Used to work with Akash Network, was the chief operating officer there. Very, very connected in the world of AI. He's going to be joining us tomorrow for an AI alpha segment. So between the people we bring on the show, between us and the resources and connections we leverage, we will continue to put stuff on your radar, and you decide whether it's something that falls into your risk category that you're willing to take the risk and potentially make some money on. This was another one. Great project. I put this in our whale Discord. Now, this thing is down, but this essentially is an AI agent that focuses on OTC desks and wire transfers, okay? There's a lot happening. And the last thing I'll share, this is a large market cap. This is BitTensor. It is currently down on the day 3.5%, down 10% on the week, down 30% on the month. A lot of these AI agents on the back end, they use the BitTensor subnets. Okay? This might be another play. I see a lot of how do I buy? How do I buy? What I might do actually is go join our Discord. What I might do is do a little town hall in the Discord at some point this week, and I'll kind of answer any questions. I'll talk about how I personally buy them, what wallets I use, how to bridge. And so join the Discord, and then I'll put something out if that's something I do decide to do. And Muhammad said Discord going to $0. It's actually $0 to join a Discord. It's free, so go join it. The link is in the description. But BitTensor is another one. You take a look at the supply, only 7 million tokens that are circulating, right? Max supply of 21 million. So there's a lot of great plays here, and I disagree with.
No. I think that AI has plateaued on the
hardware side,
on the like the Chat GPT, on the the just kind of that type it into a web browser and AI imaging. It's really plateaued, right? We went from 0 to where we're at now, and the improvements are smaller percentage currently than they were initially, right? When ChatGPT hit the scene, everyone was like, "Oh my God! Like, yo, I got like this assistant. I can ask it anything." It's getting fractionally better every month, and so that has kind of plateaued. But what we haven't seen is AI really explode with use case and utility in blockchain. So I think that there's a divergence here, right? I think that what we saw out of the AI industry, and we saw how NVIDIA grew to one of the largest companies globally out of nowhere, essentially. I mean, in 2020, NVIDIA was a fraction of the size it is now. I think the same thing is going to happen here with crypto and AI agents. Also, let's not forget about Fetch, or also known as ASI token now after the merge of the 3 AI giants. Also, BitTensor, solid play. Akash, solid play. And so definitely something you should have a slice of your portfolio, whether it's Bitcoin, maybe have a little bit of AI. Also, do not dismiss gaming. I think that we have not seen gaming rally at all.
That's one thing. Gaming has not rallied.
Gaming has not rallied at all, and I would expect a big gaming push.
I agree. I want to get Randy's thoughts. Randy, AI following the trend of DeFi. Which one do you think is going to be a bigger narrative in 2025, AI or DeFi? And then if you have your bold prediction for 2025, please share that as well.
I think AI is going to be intertwined with DeFi, in all honesty, because
Kind of is, yeah.
I mean, all of it's about decentralization and moving on and moving forward. So I think that definitely AI is going to have its part in 2025, because that's the new trend. People are trying to figure out what AI means. How are we really going to use it? And I think just like when DeFi was really popping off back in 2020, 2021, Uniswap was first coming out. Yeah. And then we had all these grocery store coins and tokens, and people were like trading pickles and donuts and like all these things. And then all of it consolidated, right, into what we know now. I think the same thing is going to happen with AI, where there's going to be a bunch of AI projects. This is going to do this. This is going to do that. And then it's going to consolidate. Yes. So I think it's going to have the same effect, but it's all about discovery. And what we're doing right now in crypto is discovering what works, what doesn't, and being able to kind of move on into the future and sculpt what the space really looks like. And then you even have like AI that's going to, all these AI tokens that are going to be traded on DEXs. So inadvertently, it helps DeFi as well.
Okay, I agree with you. Like you mentioned, same thing.
Yes, I think that's spot on. Yeah.
Same thing with every narrative, right? Every kind of sector is you have a bunch, like throw stuff at the wall and then you see what sticks, the rest falls off. And what sticks is what people build around. Same thing's going to happen. What we're telling you is through that process, you can also make money on the shit that doesn't stick to the wall, as long as you have a game plan. You have a plan to take profit. You have certain levels and targets that you predetermine prior to buying. And then once you figure out what sticks, then you can decide if you want to hold those long-term or not. Randy, do you have a bold prediction for me for 2025?
2025 is going to be the golden age of America and crypto, because I think we're going to be the crypto capital of the world if, the politicians say and do what they say is going to happen. So I definitely am bullish on that. I'm very bullish on Bitcoin legislation, whether that's the right to mine, the right to self-custody, because we need to be able to embrace our fundamentals. And I always talk about that on my show, the fundamentals of America, which is life, liberty, property, or the pursuit of happiness. And Bitcoin really like enhances your rights versus where we've had Operation Choke Point 2.0, where even people like Brad Garlinghouse got debanked. And there's no, they can't take away your free speech, but they could inadvertently do that by debanking you and making sure you have no money to have speech and have the power to have the speech. So I think if we're able to self-custody and even transact with Bitcoin and crypto, that's going to be a huge move, because even El Salvador has shown us that Bitcoin can be legal tender. And if we make it easy for people and eliminate all these crazy taxes, then I think Bitcoin could really have a nice role, and even other cryptocurrencies as well in terms of spending. So I think we're going to see the right to mine, the right to self-custody, and even more transactional relationship and legislation to make it more friendly.
Okay. What about you? You got a bold prediction for 2025?
Bold? I still back on my gaming narrative. I think no. Well,
I thought it was Bitcoin to $1 million, Rob. I'm disappointed.
I was just about to pivot over and say gaming. There's gaming, and then I do think that as you mentioned, if you get the U.S. executing what they plan on doing, I think other countries follow suit. Also, you're going to onboard more and more companies. And so I think that institutions are going to be a major factor into what is going on in Bitcoin's price, right? I think that what we saw out of MicroStrategy, we're seeing it copied. That playbook is being copied to multiple different companies right now. And so I think that list is going to grow by a factor of 10x, maybe more. And if you take that plus countries, I genuinely think it on the table is $1 million Bitcoin. If I had to put a percentage on it, I'd probably put it like 20% chance of $1 million Bitcoin. I think that a lot will have to go right for that. Also, I need to think that the U.S. is going to loosen their monetary policy. Perhaps we get some Fed rate cuts, a little bit more dramatic than we're expecting. Who knows? Maybe Donald Trump pushes Jerome Powell out and gets and encourages.
Love to see that happen.
I don't know. I mean, it's possible. I don't think it's likely.
Yeah.
And so, like I was saying, I think if certain narratives line up, if certain things play out in the favor of crypto, we could see something like that. I'm extremely bullish on 2025. You know what? Let's run our. I think we have a crypto almanac ad. Let's run that because that is all about 2025. It might be a little outdated. I think we talk a little bit about Christmas in there, but yeah, let's just run the early stages of the bull market. There is so much money to be made, life-changing money, wife-changing money. And if you want to get a leg up on the competition against your other fellow traders and investors, you're going to need the alpha, you're going to need the research. We have a book that handles all of this for you. It's a magazine called the 2025 Crypto Almanac. In the magazine, we have a comprehensive guide that breaks down DeFi, gaming, ETFs, RWAs, NFTs, Bitcoin dominance, and Bitcoin price prediction by quarter for 2025. We got exclusive collaborations, interviews, and write-ups with the biggest names in crypto, and much more. Inside the magazine, you'll find a graded breakdown of the top 100 cryptos, including a cheat sheet to quickly source through your favorite projects. Each magazine comes as a physical copy, which is individually numbered, authenticated by an NFC tap chip, along with a digital ebook version minted as an NFT on the Cardano blockchain. Pre-orders are now open. Click on the link in the description below to get your copy of the 2025 Crypto Almanac. Yeah, so that's in the description below. If you haven't got your almanac, they're going to be mailing soon. We basically just give you a guide to 2025. On the back end is just a quick grading scale. And so basically a little cheat sheet. And so if you're trying to figure out like, hey, what's the best AI play? Just go to the AI section. What's the best DeFi play? Go to that section. And then, yeah, really excited about that. And what a badass book, man.
That's good.
Love it.
We're going to get your address. We'll send you one.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, dang. We got what's that, $50 super chat?
Muhammad. Told you I like this guy. Remember when he came in first, all he kept saying was this to zero, that to zero, that to zero. I was like, I kind of like this guy.
Can we drop a nuke for my boy Muhammad there? $50 super chat. Thank you, my brother. Also, we had a $20 super chat earlier as well from Andrea. Crypto Billy sent us three $2 super chats. Andrea sent us two more $2 super chats. Pack said
they were trying to get to that goal, but they didn't know it's
yeah, I was like, I kind of felt bad. I put in the chat, I'm like, hey, it's a $20. I probably said it a little too high there, but Either way, we did get.
No, I'll still share my story.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
You have an embarrassing story?
I do.
Yeah, what do you got?
Well, I don't know. Well, I'm not gonna tell it yet.
Ah.
Wait till the end of the show. We're almost done.
Okay.
I do gotta.
I was excited. I love hearing your embarrassing.
You might have
story.
heard this one already, but I don't know. Anyways, I do want to give a big thank you to one of our longest tenure sponsors. And you guys already know it's Legacy Network, the Legacy Academy app. Their LGCT token is happening in the very near future. I did email the first 10 pre-orders. You are going to get some free LGCT tokens airdropped. Make sure you respond to that email, reply to that email. I'll get the information and make sure the team sends you your free tokens. But this is an amazing team with an amazing product. Join their Telegram, stay up to date on everything around the LGCT token. My big, and just like you in gaming, I'm going to stick to AI. I think this market cap 10 to 20 X's total AI to 500 to a billion, or 500 billion to a trillion market cap. If crypto gets to 10 trillion, I think AI and we'll get to 500 billion to $1 trillion in market cap in 2025. I really do. I'm super bullish on AI for 2025. But I agree with Randy. I'm gonna bring her point back again. There's gonna be a lot of throwing crap at the wall and figuring out what sticks, and a lot of that is gonna fall off that wall. Do not hold the bag when it's falling off the wall. Don't get too greedy. You can make money in the interim. And then as the space matures, you can figure out which ones have long-term allure, long-term, they're worth holding long-term. So just keep that in mind. But again, we can make money in the meantime. All right, here's my story. I think I already told the story. All right, so I was laying on the couch, and I pretty much almost shit my pants.
This is how you start your story?
Yeah, I got stomach issues. You guys know that. And so I take probiotics, and they ran out of my probiotics. And there's a lady in the room. Sorry, Randy. I started taking these new probiotics because they ran out of my face turned red. Started taking these new probiotics because they ran out of the ones I had. So this is like the second or third day I was taking them, and I was getting like gurgle in my stomach. And so I was laying on the couch playing my video game, and I thought it was going to be just a regular fart. And literally, as soon as it came out, my entire family on the couch was like, "Did you just shit your pants?" I was like, "I think I did." And my kids still bring it up to us like a month ago. Yeah, it was pretty embarrassing.
Is that why it smells over here at the desk?
Yeah, kind of.
Mine, you know what? I'll just bring up a recent story. My sister's vegetarian. She doesn't eat any meat at all. And, very, very animal. Anyways, for Christmas, I got her this beautiful leather jacket.
Oh.
And, man, she opened that thing up and she looked at it. She was just like, the horror on her face. She's like, dead cow. And she was like, I can't wear this. And I'm like,
did you get her a nice big tomahawk steak too? Jesus Christ.
Luckily, I had the stocking when she stepped away. She hadn't got into it. I pulled all the beef jerky sticks out of there.
Randy, do you have a embarrassing story you'd like to share?
I'm trying to think.
I know we're putting you
now.
on the spot here, so if you can't think of one, that's okay. But
I mean, there was one time where I was like doing a rave on my stream and I actually fell. And I was just like, and I had to sit there for a minute and be like, ow. And then I had to get back up. And I feel like people could tell when I actually fall, because I do fall sometimes, because I try to go down, make it drop low, whatever. And I actually fell straight.
I am so
I was just like,
uncoordinated.
ow.
I used to be a lot more coordinated when I was playing football in college, but those days are gone. Anyways, guys, if you want more Randy and Mr. Crypto, Randy, we'll give you the camera. Tell people where they can find you, where you're most active, and what's your streaming schedule.
So I do go live Monday through Friday at 9:45 a.m. Eastern. So I know it's a little early for the people on the West Coast, but I do try to start off everybody's morning. I currently am in Vegas right now. My Wi-Fi situation is not great, but I will be back later this week. I'll be streaming again on the 3rd, kicking off the new year into a higher gear. And all of my handles are at Miss Teen Crypto, MISSTEENCRYPTO. And that's on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter /X, TikTok, Threads, anywhere you guys are on social media, I'm there too. I do a lot of educational content, so check out my YouTube channel for any keynotes that I've done. I go to schools. I also make appearances on cool kid networks like Newsmax and Fox Business if you guys want to check out those hits as well. We're trying to reach mainstream adoption, and I want to be the one to help you get there, as well as people like Rob and Dave that are just working relentlessly. So I thank you guys and everyone in the chat that knows me and supports people like Rob and Dave in Sin City, because we are trying to bring you the information, bring you the alpha, and make sure that we could all make it together, because again, we're all going to make it. So my advice, if I could give any to anyone, is to keep calm, hodl on, and stay zesty. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Great. Thanks for joining us, Mandy. All right, that'll do it for the show today. With that being said, anything else?
Happy New Year.
Happy New
Year, man.
Happy New Year, yeah.
Yay, 2025.
2025. We're gonna kick off tomorrow with a straight up bang. We're gonna.
I just want to know who's giving me a big old smooch tonight at midnight.
No. Anyways, you freaking weirdo. Chase. Just please roll. Yeah, thank you. Jesus Christ. Guys, again, go join our Discord. I might be doing that town hall explaining everything to you. If not, you can just hang out with the community. We're in there. We love you guys. Stay safe. Don't Jason Pierre-Paul yourself and play with fireworks and lose 4 of your fingers on your left hand. Don't do it. It's not worth it. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace.
Big facts, no capping. With Bitcoin, if you're in, then you win. We divide the pie with no fraction. It's Big Rob, David. I split the game, but they gave it. Name the coin, it's your favorite. I got dry powder, why save it? To the OGs, new beginners. Special shout out to the well members. Buy a dip, sell winners. Ain't really nothing you can tell sinners. Tune in for the latest new flavors. They gonna teach us mean coins. They polarizing like barbecue chicken pizzas. I laugh with a major grin. Laggers, we trade them in. Baddies, they came to sin. And sinners gon' play to win. Screaming, hola, till my bags are flowing over. Hold ya to the moon and to the solar. Won't I? Don't be letting FOMO control ya. It's over when the finger tornado close ya.